Hi, Epstein with your morning flash update. This update is for the morning of Tuesday, and we're now at the 23rd of April, 2024, and time 8:25 a.m. Central Time. So if we go over here and we take a look, we have the Red Book weekly sales. They keep climbing up. They're now 5.1 and 5.3. Do you remember when they were 3.8, 3.7, maybe getting a 4.5, and they've been climbing all the way through? S&P Global Group's going to release their preliminary April manufacturing and service sector PMIs at 8:45. The Richmond Fed will update their monthly manufacturing sector index at 9. New home sales data will come out also at 9. And we get the API numbers. Now, the good news has been that the earnings numbers this morning that came out for GM, UPS, they were beats. And so far, most of the numbers that have come out, and we only began reporting the big companies this week. There's 180 of them almost reporting this week. They have been beats. The stock market is responding positively to that news. The dollar tried to drop. It's come back a little bit. The euro is up a little bit, as are a number of the different currencies right here. In the grain markets, sort of a mixed bag. Corn down a penny, up a penny, it's either way. But you've been breaking most of the morning in the bonds and the notes. But if you take a look at the bonds, and if you're a student, as I am, of momentum, you lost the bearish momentum. And that often means that this pullback is an area where the pros are covering shorts. Maybe this is in front of this week's GDP and PCE numbers that are coming out. We have, by the way, the Bank of Japan coming out this week. And as I told you, I think the pros will push until the bank actually does an intervention. It'll be a slow leak because traders are fearful. At any moment you come in, they intervene, you get a 100-point pop maybe in the end. You just don't know what to expect. But we'll see what they have to say. More important, their wording. Going to be very important in how the threats, the veiled threats against shorts. Iran threatened Israel this morning, saying, I was reading the comments, that if Israel attacks them again, there may be nothing left of Israel. So immediately, all eyes go up, nuclear war. How far along is Iran? They make lots of claims. You got to remember that. Everybody's thought for decades that Israel has a nuclear weapon of its own and doesn't talk about it. I've heard that story forever. The encampment, by the way, within Rafah, right outside of it, is being built. So photos from the sky are showing how large the encampment is. So obviously what's going on now is Israel has got the tents going up. They're getting ready to move people. A minimum 40,000 tents were put up. I don't know how many people that can possibly handle. There's 3 people in Rafah or so. So we'll see how many they can move out. Not everybody will leave. You understand that. I understand that. And I would say that, as we get further along in Passover, this thing's getting closer as it comes to an end. I think on the 30th, anything can happen of April. So be careful. Passover began last night. Lots of unrest on college campuses. Are you watching that? Very important to see. More heads will fly. You watch. They're going to fire the head of Columbia. She'll be gone very shortly. You'll see. Could be Yale and Harvard. There's a lot coming on. And the big donors are pulling out right now. Robert Kraft pulled out of Columbia today. So this is going to be even worse than you think. And there was a wonderful expose. Where's all this money coming from for the protesters that are so willing to be arrested? Who's defending them? Who's putting up their bail? And once you dig into this, you just see how far I think Iran's tentacles go through all this. You'll be very surprised. There's always a far-right element doing this, and that's what's going on. In the meantime, I think it's all about earnings, the PCE, the GDP, little better numbers coming out for the Brits, and we'll see if that's going to delay any rate hikes there. Rate cuts. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a good morning. I'll catch up with you at the end of the day. Trade well.